to the Let's Talk Freedom Talk Show, where we redefine healthcare and discover more freedom in our lives. I am your host, Tanner Hobbs, and I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I feel like that intro is just super repetitive and I need to come up with something better now. But anyhow, I'm so happy to be here today, and this is episode 6 already. This is crazy how quick this is going by. I'm absolutely loving hopping in on this and just talking about things I am so dang passionate about. I absolutely enjoy this so much, and I'm really excited for season 2. So season 1 is just going to be 8 episodes. Like I said, this is already episode 6. So we're really close to the end, and I've got some really exciting stuff moving forward for season 2. And it feels like just yesterday I did that pilot episode for this season, and that I was talking about, like, I can't wait to see where this goes and all that kind of stuff. And I do have some big plans for season 2, so stay tuned for that. I am going to share those soon. Make sure, if you don't already, follow me on Instagram. Follow my handle at Trainer Tanner. I am on there most of the time. I love Instagram stories so dang much. It is like my favorite pastime, is hopping on there and talking to you guys and showing my life and watching other people's life. It's just so entertaining to me. But this episode is titled Sticking with the Plan. How the heck do you stick to the plan? And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I myself have committed to so many plans in my life, and they've fallen through, and I didn't stick to it, and I start over and I do it again. And I've done that so many times. And I wanted to share how I go about plans and goals and all those kind of things, and how I tackle those now using the Chasing Freedom method. And I've kind of found a way that really has been working for me lately. And I wanted to share some of those tips with you. But before we do that, like I always do, I like to recap on the last episode. The last episode, I talked about comparing yourself to others. And if you struggle with comparison, like I have and like I do, that's an episode you do not want to miss. I didn't prepare for that episode. I just went straight in and talked about where I struggle with comparison, how I struggled with comparison super bad in the past, and how I handle it, and how I try to get the devil out of my life and bring more Jesus and more light into it, and just truly accept who I am, how I'm made, where I'm at. And I just feel so much more at peace. So if you haven't watched that episode, be sure to go check that one out. Like always, screenshot this episode and put this on your Instagram story, because the only way that more people are going to chase freedom with us is if more people know about the Chasing Freedom lifestyle. And so sharing this on your stories, saying that you're watching the Let's Talk Freedom Talk Show, and tagging me at Trainer Tanner is going to help us help other people. And that's what I'm all about. But let's jump right into this episode, because I could talk forever. This episode is titled, like I said, Sticking to the Plan. How do you stick to the plan? Why do you make plans? Why have you failed so many times? I want to go over those kind of things before I hop into my 3 tips on helping you stick to your plan. So when I think about why do we make a plan in the first place, I think about, normally we make a plan because we have a big goal. We have an end goal. We want to achieve something. We have a deadline. We have a vacation. We have a look we're trying to attain. We have a pant size we want to be in. We have this amount of money we want to save for this specific thing. We want to heal our body, like officially heal our body. There is a reason why we're making a plan in the first place. And I think it's important to be super clear on why you want to reach that deadline or attain that goal. Why is it, right? And figuring out why, and is that why powerful enough for you to stick to a plan, is going to be very important from the very beginning, because like Lewis Howes always says, everything starts with a vision. And if you don't have a clear vision, then it's going to be really hard to create the stepping stones to get there. So that's first, is just, what is your plan? What is the goal you're trying to attain? And why are you trying to attain that goal in the first place? I also want to go into some reasons why I failed at so many plans that I've made for myself. I'm trying to put my hands down because I talk with my hands so much that I'm going to end up smacking myself in the face. But I think back to, I guess when I think of plans, I immediately, because I'm in the health and fitness world so much, I do think of health and fitness plans. But I've started a lot of plans in my life, and I face planted a lot of times. But the ones that are popping up in my head just as I'm sitting here are like all the workout plans I started in college. I used to go to bodybuilding.com and do the lean, shredded workout plans, 4-week plan, 6-week plan, 8-week plan. And week 2 in, I completely go off the plan, lose momentum, and don't stick to the plan at all. And then I go to try and find a new plan, thinking that plan's going to be better. And because that plan's better, I'm going to stick to that plan. And then it was the exact same thing. It was this cyclical thing that would always happen with all these plans. I even think about my meal plan days. I would literally make, and this may be you, and you may have done this, and you may be doing this right now, but it does not work for me. And I've learned that about myself. I would make a meal plan, meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sometimes. And I would say, okay, this is what I'm going to eat every single day for the next 4 or 6 weeks until I have vacation time. And I'm going to look so good on vacation, and I'm going to feel so good because I stuck to this plan every single day. And that lasted again about week 2, week 3, and at the very most, that food, every food in that meal plan sounded disgusting to me, like repulsive. I didn't want it at all. I resented it so much not because I didn't like the food anymore, or not because that food wasn't good for me, but simply because I told myself I have no choice but to eat these foods, and these are the foods I'm only allowed to eat. That was literally my thought process. So then when I would go off the plan, I would let myself down. I would get frustrated with myself. And then there was no way I was going to go back on that plan because I knew I would fail. So those are kind of some of my stories. I did that a whole lot. Honestly, that's what led me into coaching and led me into freedom, food freedom in the first place, is just knowing that this is a lifestyle and there's no 4 or 6 or 8 or 12-week plan that is going to be something I can stick to for the rest of my life. I'm trying to create good, healthy habits with my food and with my relationship with food, and dive deeper into those things than just trying to have this quick fix, which I've talked about in other episodes before. But now let's jump into, now that we're kind of clear on why we fail so many times and why we have a plan, why we have a goal, and what that goal specifically is, let's go into my 3 tips to creating a plan, sticking to a plan, fulfilling the plan, and just reaching your goals, reaching your dreams, reaching your deadlines that you're trying to reach for yourself. So, tip number 1 for this is reverse engineer the plan. So now we have the plan here, right? We know why we want to reach that plan, but let's work backwards. Let's work all the way backwards until today. So when do you want to reach that goal by? What is that goal? You know what the goal is. How long do you have to reach that goal? So maybe if it's something financial and you're trying to build a house, you have a goal for 2 years to break ground for a new house. That's your end goal. So you have 2 years to reverse engineer. The reason I say reverse engineer is because you're not going to just be able to go from point A to point C without experiencing point B, right? And there are going to be so many stepping stones. Even if it is like a 4-week goal or a 6-week goal that you have for yourself, there's still going to be stepping stones that you have to take in order to get to the end goal. And I think it's important to prepare yourself for those stepping stones. Those stepping stones are what get you there. They're so important. If we're only focused on, and this is where I failed so many times, I just wanted that end goal so dang bad. That's all I could think about, instead of being realistic and understand that it was going to be hard some days. I was going to struggle some days. There were going to be stepping stones and breakthroughs I had to go through and experience in order to get to that end goal, stick to my plan, and feel like I actually achieved something. So be super clear and understand that you're going to face challenges, and reverse engineer. Like, what are you going to have to go through in order to get to that goal? So if it is a specific like weight loss plan that you have for yourself and you're wanting to go down a size in pants or something because you've been there before, you know that you're going to be hungry at times. And I want you to think about those times when you're hungry. How are you going to handle yourself? How are you going to attack those times, those hard times? What is your mindset going to be? Because a lot of times when I would get hungry on those meal plans, I would just cave and eat everything and end up binge eating. And that's where I failed miserably and would face plant. So understand, be clear. What are the stepping stones? What are the things you know that you're probably going to face? And how are you going to attack those things to overcome and surpass that specific stepping stone to get to the next one? So reverse engineer, lay it out, kind of see what it all looks like for yourself so that you don't just have a point A and point C and that's it. And you're like, all right, go time. You have those other points in between in order to get to the end result. I hope that made sense. I felt like I just rambled about all the points, but stepping stones are huge. That's the only way we're going to get to our end goal. Tip number 2 is tell people. This is something I talk about all the time, especially to my clients or my business clients, is to tell people what your goal is. Tell people your game plan. I know I am a woman of promises and keeping my promises. And if I don't, it absolutely shatters me. I tend to be a little bit of a people pleaser in that sense too. So when I make a promise to people or tell people I'm going to do something, I am bound and determined to stick to my word. So all those times I was telling you I would face plant and fail, I wouldn't tell people that I was on this meal plan because I was afraid. I knew deep down I'd probably fail because I had done it so many other times. But when I have something, especially in my business right now, or even with my health goals that are really important to me now, and I live them out for different reasons, I tell people, I tell my husband, I tell my friends, I tell my family what's going on because I know I need that support. I can't do this on my own. I tell God, I'm like, God, I am committing to bringing in 5 new clients this month. I need to serve those people. I feel called to serve 5 new lives this month. And so I commit to that. And I tell my husband, I'll bring in 5 new clients this month, or whatever it is that I have for myself and my business, all my big scary things that I do for my business. A lot of times I'll tell a bunch of people what I'm doing before I even have the first step done, because I know once I've spoke those words out loud to other life, it becomes that much more real, and it's time to take action, and it is game time. So tell people your plans, because they're gonna support you. They're gonna hold you accountable. They'll straight call you out. They'll be like, "How's the diet going?" Or they'll talk about, "How many clients have you gotten this week?" Or "How many clients have you gotten so far this month? The month's coming to an end, and I know you wanted to achieve that." Stuff like that, where it's just like, "Oh, yes, you're right. Time to work." Like, it's momentum. It keeps the momentum going. You've told people, you have people holding you accountable. You have that support and community and love and people knowing what's going on in your life and what's important to you at this season of life is so important. So tell people about your goal. Tell people about your game plan, and let them help you. It's okay to have help sometimes. Help is so important. There are so many things that I've done in my life that I know I couldn't have achieved without other people. And last but not least, tip number 3, I always like to save the best for last, is post reminders everywhere about this. So when you set a true blue goal that you're really passionate about, you really want to hit, and you're really serious about, post that stuff everywhere. This is something I've done since college now. So 3 years. I post my goals and reminders and put this everywhere. My phone background, Post-it notes, where else? Like on the fridge, I have alarms going off on my phone all throughout the day. A lot of times I do doodles in my planner all the time. I journal this stuff all the time. Like, I have reminders everywhere, so that all day, from the time I wake up in the morning all the way till the time I go to sleep and brush my teeth and have a note on my mirror, I'm reminded that I have this goal I want to achieve really, really bad. And I need those reminders, because life gets in the way, and life gets hectic, and life gets busy, and stress comes into your life a lot of times, and you neglect those goals and you put those on the back burner. But I need those reminders, and I have to have them all around me, surrounding me, in order to stay focused and stick to the game plan that I have for myself. So do all the things, set all the reminders, put on all the alarms on your phone that you can, and just have constant reminders throughout that entire journey to your goal or whatever you're trying to achieve. So I hope these 3 tips really helped you guys, and that you're really excited about a goal that you have for yourself now and may take action a little bit differently than you have in the past. And I pray that this is a better journey to achieving your big goals and dreams, and that you take and you look at it through different lenses, and you understand that the stepping stones are important. Having community is really important, and setting reminders throughout it all, because life is crazy, is really, really important. So I always like to keep you or leave you guys with an action plan when I do these episodes, and have you implement these things immediately into your life, because why wait? You know what I mean? If you have goals you want to achieve, which I'm sure we all do, I think it's important to have goals in so many areas of our life, then I hope that you implement this right away. So my action for you is to figure out why you have a goal, what that goal is, find super duper clarity on the goal that you want to achieve for yourself, and implement these 3 tips that I told you today into that goal. So lay it out, figure out what the stepping stones look like, tell people about your goal, and then even message me. I would love to see your all's game plan to hold you all more accountable. Message me. Send me a message on what your goal is, what your stepping stone is, what your timeline is, what your action steps are. Send me that kind of stuff. I would love to see what you guys are working towards in your life, and I can hold you more accountable to that. Thank you so much for watching this episode today. Like I said, screenshot this, share it with people. Let's spread the word about it. We're about to close out season 1 somehow already. And I'm just super blessed to be able to share stuff like this with you guys more. The next episode, episode 9, we are going to cover what is your motive in life? Basically, why are you living? And I think we could get pretty deep into that episode, but I'm really excited nonetheless to share that with you guys. Thank you all so much for listening in today. I hope you all enjoy this, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.